Hey guys, welcome back to Disney Coffee and Book Talk. I'm Alex, and quick intro, if you guys don't know who I am, I write the Disney Pixar Connection. I do Easter eggs here. I talk about theories, I do movie reviews, book reviews, etc. We are covering Cinderella 3, so this was a straight to video. This is also covered in my second book, Disney Pixar Connection straight to video version, and I already did Cinderella the live action, and I did Cinderella the animated. I should say the live action was the 2015, not the Brandy's version. I will get to that eventually. And I just did the animated. So thank you guys for stopping by, and let's dive right in. Hey guys, so we are doing Cinderella: A Twist in Time. This is the second sequel to Cinderella. This was a straight to video. As I said before, we're just gonna dive right into it. Starting off with some Easter eggs on the wallpaper, we have the three flowers forming a hidden Mickey. I shouldn't say Easter eggs. Hidden Mickey from the flowers in a bouquet. Yeah. Then we have Cinderella looking at these portraits of her dancing with the prince, her getting married, and you can see in the background like there's been some time. It also kind of looks like in the background on the upper left corner is a hidden Mickey within the fruit, as well as kind of within the flowers. It's kind of hard to tell with the flowers, but definitely within the fruit. Then, so Cinderella now lives in the castle, and so does Lady Tremaine and her stepsisters. Now, her stepsisters are now doing the chores like she was supposed to do. Hello, Karma! I mean, I certainly want to do all those dishes. I barely want to do the dishes in my own house. Okay? So, I mean, I do them, okay? I do them because they have to get done, but that is a mess. Anyway, moving along, this is a disaster and karma. And I forgot to mention that this reminds me of in Sword of the Stone when Arthur was doing the dishes. This was happening at some point. So yeah, that reference, Easter egg, cool. So it is their 1 year anniversary of their wedding, and the fairy godmother decided to do an anniversary dinner. So here within this beautiful little location, she has these beautiful yellow flowers, these roses, which do form hidden Mickeys. But I also want to note, kind of weird that they chose yellow when, first of all, Cinderella's color is blue, but also yellow roses specifically mean friendship, not love. So it's kind of an interesting choice, just throwing that out there. Now, it does seem like Prince and Princess, right, Cinderella, are friendly, which, I would hope so. They're married, right? But I just found it an interesting choice. And of course, fairy godmother recreates their dress and their outfit so that they are just like the day that they met at the magical ball. Anyway, Anastasia happens to be spying on these two because she's very jealous. She has the green-eyed monster look. And she comes upon and understands that Cinderella had help thanks to fairy godmother, and she got her hands on the magic wand, the bippity-boppity-boo. So she takes it, and she bippity-boppity-boops fairy godmother into a stone statue, which, by the way, although Descendants came out after this movie, I thought it was kind of an interesting choice that in Descendants, so if you guys don't know, Descendants is a Disney Channel original movie, which I will eventually get to those, but fairy godmother gets bippity-boppity-booed, right, into a statue. Well, technically she didn't just get turned into a statue. That's a whole complicated thing. Anyway, we will cover that but just keep that in reference that she turned into a statue. Anyway, Anastasia runs back with the wand to Lady Tremaine and her sister Drusilla, and this is when they decided to turn back time so that it's like the prince never even met Cinderella. So Cinderella has to sneak into the castle, and she's trying to not be seen by Lady Tremaine and Anastasia and Drusilla, because they know and she knows kind of what happened, but nobody else does. So she's kind of hiding out, and she pretends she's the mice catcher, the royal mouse catcher. Kind of helps that she has little friend mice called Jacques, and Gus, right? They're so adorable. Sorry guys, you can probably hear my puppy in the background. Anyway, by the way, I'm not a mouse hater. My animals are mousers. But I did have a pet mouse at one point, long before any of these current animals existed. So I do think mice are cute. I just don't want wild mice running around my house, just saying. Anyway, so in this picture, you can see there are some hidden Mickeys within the cheeses and the crates and barrels and stuff. So then we move on, and Anastasia is supposed to be who our Prince Charming is falling in love with. She is a complete disaster. Let's just call it that. Anyway, moving forward, the king hands Anastasia this little seashell, and he's telling her that when he fell in love with Prince Charming's mother, aka his former wife, he's widowed, by the way. The mother died, unfortunately. Anyway, that this, he just knew, and this was just like a small reminder. Like, it just takes that one little thing, right? And it really stuck with Anastasia. Like, Anastasia is not evil like everyone thinks she is. Drusilla, maybe. I think she was kind of manipulated by her mother. Lady Tremaine, absolutely. Like, obviously, the evil stepmother is the big thing, right? But Anastasia has a heart, and she just wants to be loved, right? And I think this is a great conversation for us to have, at least in the book and the movie world, that you should not be desperate for love, that you're seeking it everywhere, right? Lesson learned, I think a lot of us have dealt with, where you chase love to the point where you end up getting hurt. And that's basically what it is. She's so desperate for love that she's willing to destroy other people. Anyway, we're moving on. Anyway, we fast forward and we see a hidden Mickey within the bubbles of this pot, because she was watching what Cinderella was doing. She was trying to keep an eye out for her. And she traps Cinderella in a pumpkin. Of course, a pumpkin. I mean, come on. Like, we know back from the first movie that Fairy Godmother turned a pumpkin into a carriage. So, yeah. So she traps her back into it as she's trying to head to the ball. And so I also want to note that Cinderella looks a lot like Thumbelina, which I know was not Disney. Thumbelina was done by 20th Century Fox Studio movie by Don Bluth. If you don't know who he is, he's done a lot of amazing animated movies that were not Disney. Some very memorable ones I can't name off the top of my head besides Thumbelina at the moment. He was a former Disney artist, animator, but on March, I believe it was March 20th. Let me just double check. Yes, March 20th, 2019. So it's been officially 6 years. Disney acquired 20th Century Studios, so they now own all of those movies, although they did not animate them, create all these movies. They now own the rights to them. And so if you want to watch Thumbelina, it is over on Disney Plus. And although I mainly focus on the Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, we will and I say eventually because I have a lot to get through, we will get to those other movies. I do want to talk about other things besides just Disney here, so if you guys are into that, that would be fantastic. Maybe we can do that over the summer. But yeah, so just throwing that out there. Now, meanwhile, Anastasia is supposed to be in love with Prince Charming. It's supposed to be marrying him, but she's really in love with this baker, right? And Lady Tremaine is not happy because she wants her to be the queen. She wants to take over the kingdom, right? But like I was saying, Anastasia's not an evil person. She just wants love. And so here we have a little snapshot of Anastasia and the baker in like this little photo, or painting technically, right? And I think it's a really cute moment. It's very simple, but I also want to note that there are some hidden Mickeys within the flowers. Then we have a reference to Scream. I mean, I would be screaming too if I saw Lady Tremaine behind me. Just saying. Okay, so that was a terrible joke. Then we have this photo of fruit. I apologize. I forget the names of the rest of these, oh my gosh, I can't think. These famous paintings other than Scream. But as you can see, there's a hidden Mickey within the fruits. Then we have Fairy Godmother with her giant pumpkin. I think this is hilarious. This is also kind of like a reference to James and the Giant Peach, where they won for having that giant peach, which was done by Disney, by the way. So yeah. And then lastly, we have Gus Gus being this this famous painting, and again, I forgot what it's called. But if you know, let me know down below. Comment. Thank you guys for stopping by, watching my video. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so. Press that like button. And always let me know down below what your favorite Easter egg is or what you want me to cover next. Much love to you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.